So you guys
we're
are not
going to go. Yeah, we're going to go live. We're ready to go live.
okay. I was just going to give my testimony tonight.
Okay.
It's pretty interesting. I've only shared once my testimony, and so buckle up, man, because it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough to walk through, but it needs to be shared because I think it's going to help people um, um, stay away from the fiery darts of the devil, which is witchcraft, playing with these games. Because this whole story that I'm going to tell you all circles around one issue, and that is the Ouija board. And I'll get to that at the very end. I found this out afterwards. Not me. I've never messed. I don't mess with that stuff. Never, even when I was, let's say, lukewarm, because I've been, quote, Christian all my life. Let's just put that in parentheses. But there was 20 or 30 years that I wouldn't say. Well, I guess it was rebellion. I've always loved God. I was just doing my own thing. You know what I mean? I was partying and just doing everything and anything the world was doing, and thought I was okay. And what happened was it was affecting my relationship with the Lord to the point where I almost started becoming an agnostic. And that's kind of where I'm going to start with my testimony, is what brought me out of that. But yeah.
Okay.
So what part of Australia are you guys in?
We're in Queensland.
Okay.
Yeah.
In
the best state, Brisbane.
How far is that from Sydney?
900 kilometers as the crow flies.
Oh, okay. You guys do kilometers? What's that in miles?
Let's see, 160 to 100. Oh no, probably 700 miles or something.
Oh wow. Okay, so
yeah.
So I was there. I loved Australia. I loved the people in Australia.
You've been here?
Yeah, when I was in the Navy, we stopped there.
Right, your military. Excellent, wonderful.
What, man, that's a whole. The people now understand this was in the late 80s, probably 88, 89. I don't know if things have changed, but the people there, oh my goodness, man, they the sweet, nicest people you ever met. I felt comfortable walking down the street, drunk off my butt, because that's what I was doing back then, and not have any worries that I was going to get mugged. You know?
No. No.
Yeah, I enjoyed Australia.
Yeah, it's a really
let you do what you got to do. Get started.
G'day, Shane. It's Growler here, mate.
How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, good, brother. How are you? All right?
Good.
Good. Now, if I can ask you, I know you still might be privy to OPSEC and all that sort of stuff being in the mill. Now, in the Navy, what were you? What was your role in the Navy, if I can ask?
I was a machinist mate, so I worked down in the engine rooms. And then,
right, okay then.
And then from there, I went 9 years as a machinist mate. I was up for my shore duty, which is a 4-year tour. I re-enlisted for my shore duty, which sent me to Tinker Air Force Base, and I went there as military police for 4 years, and then
did you say Tinker?
Tinker.
Did you say? Oh yeah. That's right. Where all the tankers are. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's right. Because I was in the military myself in the RAF as an armourer, putting as a bomber, just loading weapons, smart weapons, all that sort of thing on jets, and putting Acme pods on. And I only did one little tour. I mean, only 5%. I mean, if I've just had a look at a bit of the Pompeo and the military talks with our defence minister in Pompeo. So I put that in the description box. I haven't gone through it for a while. I haven't gone through the whole video. So I don't know what they said. But of course, we all know that we're going to be with US regardless, and we're already going to the SES with all the other with all the other allies, and
Right.
you know, so you know, yeah, military, you know, it just you know, they treat you up to be quite a mean person, and you know, they want to strip you of this and strip you of that, you know, because you know, it's all about fighting and winning.
Yeah.
You know, so yep.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, and back then I didn't know. Okay, I'm sure I didn't. If I would have known back then what I know now, I probably would not have joined. More than likely,
No.
Because I'm not, you know, fighting these bankers wars. That's a whole nother
Yep.
thing. But you understand what I'm talking about. And
yeah, well, look, in the ref, we know that all the Middle Eastern wars are all papacy wars.
right.
You know, and we all know that if you have a look at in Revelation from the first beast gave authority and power to the second beast, which is the US military, the US. So because the Vatican, the Jesuits use the US military to get all their wars and everything done. Of course, for the Rothschilds, for the Feds, all that sort of thing as well.
Right.
So look, as it says, all roads lead back to Rome. I mean, if you have a look at the Pope, he just looks like a beautiful white sheep in white clothing. You know, they're just a church, and you know, and it's. I mean, things are as they say, things are hiding in plain sight. And like I said in the RAF, we knew all Middle Eastern wars were papacy wars. It all goes back to, like you said, bankers and Roman papacy and all that sort of stuff. So we're just cannon fodder, you know, we're just sacrifices for them, basically, to Satan. That's what it is. It's just blood spilling.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Have you ever noticed when you see these commercials like the 4th of July? I mean, these are things that I see now where you'll see a commercial. Come celebrate the sacrifices of our men and women. And you know you know what that means.
Yes. I know exactly what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sacrificed our own military and our own people to Satan. Yeah. It is just a massive bloodlet because when you're in that war mode, you know, sort of like all religion goes out, you know, because all you want to do is smash and punch holes in other countries, and you know, because you're just trained to do that. You're just trained to think like that, you know. So we always thought we're on the right side, we're always right, and that sort of thing. We're on we're with all the coalition. No. We're just all under the banks and all under the papacy.
Right.
Well,
that's where it comes from.
Guys, I've got a little bit of a treat for you. I have a video I want you to watch, and this says it all. Okay, so just really watch this one. And here we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my God!
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Well, that was so well done. We left the link for Jason's YouTube channel in the description box, but I just wanted to play that because especially when the first thing was Australia going, I'm on fire, you know, like so this is 2020, we're here, and we are gonna just let Shane, we're gonna give you the floor, Shane, and you can tell us your testimony.
Okay, yeah. Before we get off the military thing, I wanted one question.
Yep.
Can you disband the myth? Does Australian Navy, do they have actual beer machines on board?
What was that? Beer machines? Yeah.
The reason
they're home brew kids.
Do you have beer machines just sitting there on the Navy ships?
No.
Not that I know of. I've even heard the pilots that go up in our rhinos and growlers, and they're all up there having a great drink. And I don't know. It just could be a myth. I don't know. But as you Americans know, us Australians, because I've worked with the American military a lot. And they think the Americans just love the Australians because they're just so down to earth, so honest, beer drinking, not swearing, not caring sort of people, but really down to earth. I think I really like that, and I think the Americans and the Australians do get on the best, and that's one thing I know, and that's what's kept us safe so far in one way. But we know what the big plan is all about anyway. It's not to keep us safe, is it?
That's it.
Okay,
That's
so
it. Okay.
it's the British ships then, but I digress. No, it's one of the navies. I believe it's the British then. But anyway, I digress.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, but you got big aircraft carriers. Imagine the barrels of beer you could put in those.
Yeah. Yeah. But before I get off this topic, the military, the Lord answered a question because I'm thinking of all the wars and stuff that have gone on, and you know that there's been many Christians who love the Lord, who I could have easily got caught up and died in Desert Storm, Desert Shield, because that's what I was in. But my point, the Lord says that He's going to protect us, and I stand on that. I stand on that. That He protects us, and Satan can't do nothing, without the Lord allowing something to happen in someone's life. And there's always a purpose. But the Lord gave me an answer to that, because I was like, why? Millions and millions and millions have died in these wars, seemingly with no protection. And the Lord brought a verse to me, and it says, I'm not sure where it's at, I'm sorry, but it says, those that live by the sword will die by the sword. So in other words, if you go out and you pick up a weapon, no matter if there are lies and propaganda that get you to pick up that weapon, and you go and kill other people with that weapon, you're going to die. Those that live by the sword are going to die by the sword. So
correct.
That's it. Yeah. That's funny, Shane. That's been coming to me a lot. That
we were saying that, weren't we, sister?
Because I told you that it came to me. It's been coming to me, and we aren't armed here in Australia, so we can't really protect ourselves if they try to come and drag us out of our homes over this COVID issue. If we do not want to submit and get a vaccination, we cannot really protect ourselves like Americans can. And those guys who I'm talking about, who are armed and who will fight to the end, they are YouTubers. I'm not going to say their names, but they'll go out shooting these people, and they expect to get shot. You know what I mean? They expect to go that way because they don't want to go to the camps. They will not be tortured, and they won't go to the camps. So they will go out. And I'm telling you, these guys are fair income, and they're YouTubers. Everybody knows these people.
Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no, and we wish we could do the same thing, but we aren't armed here, so we've got other plans. They're not going to take us. We'll make sure they don't. But Shane, you've got an amazing testimony to tell us. We were going to talk about Is War Coming, but we'll let you go ahead and tell us your testimony, and then we'll see how much time we've got left, and we'll go from there.
Okay. All right, let me back up. Let me back up to when I was probably like 14 years old. My parents, we were like a very lukewarm family. We went to church on Sunday. There was never a time when my dad pulled me aside and never prayed with me or talked spiritual things. He was a salesman, so he was out of town most of the time. But he knew it's like kind of like I started raising my kids when they were young. It's like, what you should be doing, but you get so wrapped up in this world and, trying to succeed at your job and everything else that the family kind of gets put on the back burner. So I kind of understand after raising my kids what he went through. But what better way if the parents aren't going to teach, then to send your kids to a Bible camp. And that's so at 14, they sent me to a week-long Bible camp up in the mountains. And I want to tell you, that was an experience that I will never forget. Guess who the key speaker was? This was probably back in 1978, if I'm doing my math right, because I'm 54.
Yeah.
So about 1978, the key speaker was David Wilkerson.
Oh, Davey.
David Wilkerson, you guys know who he is, right? The late
Yes,
great David
sure do.
Wilkerson. Yeah.
Yep.
And what a wonderful time. I mean, I remember, it's hard to explain, but it was like when I left there, the prayer and the services and the worship was so intense that I remember leaving that camp. I actually believe I got saved at that camp. I saw people that were demon possessed be that were cast out, just all kind of healings, just things out of this world. And when I left that camp, the best way I can explain it is I was on, even at 14, it was like being on a spiritual high. I don't know if that makes any sense, but
yeah, I've been on that. Don't you worry.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Where nothing can drag you down. It's like you can reach out and touch God. He's right there. You feel the love of God permeating through you. That's what I felt. And that lasted like a month after that camp.
Oh, wow.
Long story short, so at age 14, all the way up to, I say, 19, I had a pretty good relationship with the Lord. Okay. Going to church on Sunday. Not that going to church makes you saved or keeps you saved, but I was hanging around the right kids. I was in my Bible praying and building that relationship. At 19, here's where I made the mistake. I joined the military. And when I joined the military, it wasn't long before I had both feet in the world and put God on the shelf. I was out dancing, romancing, drinking, partying. If I wasn't working, I was at the pub for years. So the Lord got put on the back burner, and that was a serious backslide, I guess you could call it, in my life. So that went on. I got out of the military and then went into another job, did that for 25 years, and I just recently retired from that 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
So, yeah. But backing up, I probably didn't get right with the Lord till about 12, 13 years ago. So a long time, because I'm 54, right? And what had happened was I was driving down the road, minding my own business, coming home from work. And can you excuse me just 1 second? My wife just came home. One second. Hey, honey.
No worries.
I'm doing a live stream, so I'll be in the room.
Oh, good.
All right.
Hey, Matt Man. Hey, Vincent. Hey, Anne, Zoe. Trying to see who's in the chat. I can't really see it.
Vincent 52, Keys for Truth. Great to see you. Anne, bless you, sister. You've been a very important part of this channel. Thank you so much, for your support. It's just been awesome. Had Starling in Bolshevism equals Zionism equals communism, exactly what we're under now. Curious Mind, thank you very much. Joanne Herring, of course. How are you, Joe? Hope everything's going well with you, sister. Ian R is in the chat too. So yeah, if I've missed any out, belt me across the head, guys. And just if I can just quickly send out just a message, guys. Wherever you are in any part of your country, everything, can you please tell us what's going on with masks, what's going on with the economy, what's going on with shut down shops, businesses, just everything. Just tell us what's going on in your part of the world, so we can get a broader, view and spectrum of what's happening globally.
Excellent. I just wanted to say to Zoe, Zoe, I'll give you a call later. Okay, hang in there, girl. I'll give you a ring. Okay, no worries. So, Shane, back to you.
Okay. Yeah. So, where was I? Yeah, I was driving down the road and I felt this dread come over me. Like, I can't explain it. It was awful. It was awful. It was like a feeling, and I have a feeling that it's going to be that feeling that if you're separated from God from eternity, can you imagine the dread that you would feel? And I had this fear come over me, unbelievable fear that if I died, and am separated from God for eternity, I was getting kind of a taste of what that feeling was like, because I felt it permeate my body, right? And so I got frustrated and I pulled the car over and I prayed to God. And it was probably the first prayer that I'd prayed in I don't know how long, a serious prayer for years, right? And I said, Lord, if you exist, I said, look, if you exist, you got to show me something. Okay. Let me back up on that. Be careful what you ask for. Okay. Because I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have went to God with my fist in the air, saying, look, you need to do something. You need to show something to me. You need to prove yourself to me for me to believe. And that's what I did. And I said, if you love me, if you care, then you'll show me something. And that's what I did. And again, be careful what you pray for, guys, because what I'm about to tell you, this happened. But anyway, so I said that, and you know, the fear and everything kind of went away, and you know, I wiped the tears off my face and pretty much felt the same as I did 5 minutes before that, except for the fear was gone. And I want to say about a month went by, right, and nothing happened. Then I get a phone call from a family member. Let's call her Jane, okay? And she lives in Palm Springs, and she was graduating from college, and she wanted to stop by our house on her way back to San Diego. And I was like, yeah, it'd be great to see you, Jane. Stop by. So, and we had a pretty good relationship prior to her going to college. So yeah, she shows up on Friday night. She made some phone calls and was wanting to go to the pub with a couple of her girlfriends. And I was like, back then I probably would have went with them. That's how I was living. So I was like, yeah, no problem. I said, just make sure you're not driving. And so she left to the pub. I want to say about 4 hours later or so, I get a phone call from one of the girls, and they're like, hey, we're dropping Jane off at the house, just letting you know. And I said, well, what's going on? Is she okay? And it was just like, click, they just hung up. So 10, 15 minutes later, next thing I hear is I hear a screech out in the front, right? And I'm like, what the heck? And I go and I open up the door, and they literally rolled her out the back seat, shut the door, and spun off. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? So she gets up, dusts herself off, comes up in the house, and she is literally out of her mind, irate. Okay, something has changed. Her demeanor has changed. She didn't look drunk. She didn't look under the influence of anything. I mean, she could speak. Matter of fact, I don't even remember smelling alcohol in her breath. Okay. So she wasn't like really, really intoxicated. That wasn't the case. So I'm like, what's going on? And she's like, don't worry about what's going on. She's like, and at the time she had a little baby girl that was like 6 months old, and we had put the baby girl in our room instead of the spare room, where Jane was staying. And she's like, where the F is my kid? I know you got my kid. And I'm like, calm down. I go, we got her. She's fine. What's going on with you? And she's like, F you. And she gets up, runs down the hallway, goes into the spare bedroom, and slams the door shut. And I'm looking at my wife, and my wife's looking at me, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? And my wife's like, I don't know. She's probably drunk or high on something. She goes, you need to go find out what's going on. And I'm like, no, you need to go. You're her mother. You go find out what's going on. Because quite frankly, I was a little riled up, right? I was like, okay, all right. I'll go see what's going on. So I go down the hallway. The door's shut. I open up the door, Beck. And she is all the way across the bedroom with her back up against the wall. And she's standing there and she's staring at me. And she's not saying a word. Okay. And I have no idea where she found this 14-inch buck knife. But she had one of those hunting knives, right? And if I might, she had it like held in her hand like this, right? Yeah. Down to like where her belly button is with the blade pointing up, right? Just standing there, holding it, staring at me, blank stare. So I'm calling to her. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, you need to drop that knife. What's going on with you? No response. Blank stare, dark stare. And I could feel in the room, I could feel a presence in there, and it wasn't good. It was like, it was a presence of more than fear or more than wickedness, which it was a presence of fear. I was literally trembling in fear, right? So my wife's outside the door. She said, what's going on? And I said, do not open up that door. And she goes, I'm going to call the police. I go, do not call the police. I said, I got this. I said, just leave. Just go away. That's what I'm telling her. I said, just please give me a few minutes. So staring at Jane, and like I said, I couldn't get her to respond at any commands, nothing. Just standing there staring at me, just like that. Not even blinking at me. Okay. So I'm standing there, and I knew something supernatural was happening. I could just tell, because I remember as a kid, going to that camp with David Wilkerson there, I saw some spiritual things happen. And I was reminded of those days, and I was like, something ain't right. Something ain't right. So the first thing that popped in my head was, I need to go up. I need to pray. I need to pray for her, right? And just ask God to help me in this situation. So I walked up to her, and I'm thinking, man, I hope she doesn't take a poke at me, right? I walk up to her, and she's still just standing there. She ain't moving. She ain't flinching. And I reached out, and all I did was touch her shoulder. I touched her shoulder. I said, Lord Jesus, if you're there, please help me. That's what I said, quote unquote. Lord Jesus, if you're there, please help me. As soon as I touched her shoulder, she collapsed. Boom. Wow. Fell to the ground. Knife came flying out. I picked up the knife, gave it to my wife, shut the door again, came back in. She's still laid out, totally unconscious, right? Out. Wow. I would say within maybe a minute or so, I'm kind of shaking around, and she starts to come to, and I sit her up on the ground, and she looks up at me, and she goes, what just happened? I go, you serious? What do you mean, what just happened? She goes, what just happened? How did I get home? I'm like, your friends brought you home. I go, come here. I said, sit up on the bed. I said, I need to pray with you for a couple more minutes. She's like, why? I said, please, just, and then I helped her up, got her over to the bed, And this was, I'll never forget this, you guys. I'll never forget it. This is when the peak of my fear was just like, I was just shaking when this happened. So I got her in the bed and I'm holding her hand and I'm praying. And you got to remember, I haven't really prayed in a long time. So these prayers were like prayers like a 5-year-old would probably pray.
Yeah.
Hey, I was doing the best that I could. No, right?
Yeah.
So I'm praying for her and Jane goes, stop. She goes, do you hear that? I go, no, hear what? She goes, do you hear the growling?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's when I started to freak out. I'm like, no, I don't. She goes, there's growling. You don't hear the growling. I'm like, no. So I continued to pray for her, and make a long story short, she went to bed, and that was pretty much the end of that episode. And the next day we got up and we were having breakfast, and I pulled her aside and I said, Jane, I said, we need to talk. I said, what have you done? What have you been involved with, right?
Yeah.
You know what she told me? She told me that during college, every single weekend she'd get together with her friends and they'd break out that Ouija board.
Yeah.
And they'd be playing with that Ouija board.
Yeah.
She had a spirit on her.
Yeah.
And now let's get back to what I prayed to God. I told God, remember? I said, if you exist and you love me and you care, you got to show me something. That was it. Now, that's not the way that I wanted him to show me that he existed.
I did the same thing.
But
Yeah.
remember what I said about be careful what you pray for?
Yes.
But he did. He showed me. And I will never, ever pray. I will never go into the throne room of God with my fist in the air saying, you need to do this, Lord, you need to do that ever again. Because had I not done that, and I simply would have just asked him, Lord, if you're there, can you reveal something to me? I guarantee you he wouldn't have put me through that. But the flip side is that night I got on my hands and knees and I cried out to God to forgive me. And I cried out to God to receive me back as the prodigal son. And my life was completely changed from that moment on.
Yeah.
That moment on. I haven't looked back.
Yeah.
So
that's it. Yep. So that was definitely a demonic attack.
Yeah.
That was attached to the Ouija board. And
right.
If you guys don't mind, I would like to share something that happened to my husband and I in 1989. We had a Ouija board for a bit of fun, and I was backslidden Christian Shane at that time. We had just got together. We didn't have children. And we were playing with this Ouija board down on the Gold Coast, and we had to go to Mackay to see his parents for the summer holiday. So we did contact something. He wasn't moving the glass. I wasn't moving the glass. It spelled out a name, Martin. We threw it away. We put it away and went, no, there was something there. So we did get a bit, whoa, okay. We'd always knew there was supernatural things, so it wasn't a surprise. So we went to Mackay, and the first night we were there in my husband's parents' house. We were in this room, very old Mackay Queenslander-style house, up off the ground. The window sills on the inside used to stick out, okay? Really weird. So we're in this room. It was dark as we're asleep. Next minute, I woke up, and I've never had terror, fear, or whatever bad word you want to say. I've never felt like that in my life, but something was in the room, and it was so dark I couldn't see.
Absolutely.
So now I didn't even remember that my husband was beside me. I was so terrified. So I swung my legs around on the bed, and I just was shaking, and then I stood up and I went, oh, there's a window right there. I'll jump out the window. That's how bad the fear was.
Yeah.
And the you know, like I said, the house was quite high up off the ground, not quite 2-story. So I was just sitting there trembling. I stood up, and when I stood up, something pushed me with a force that left a bruise on my thigh and a bruise on my arm where it hit the two sills. That was like if I would have been punched or hit with a baseball bat, the black, how it came out wouldn't have been as bad as it was.
Wow.
So I was pushed with a force that was phenomenal. And so I was right. I should have jumped out the window. But then I went, as soon as I got pushed into the wall, then I was completely terrified, more than I've ever been, even worse. And then I remembered and I went, Paul, Paul, Paul. And he woke up and he went, I just had a dream that you shot out of this is his dream. I just had a dream you shot out of the roof and you fell into a cave and you were sitting in the dark in the cave, terrified. And then he woke up and that was really happening, but I wasn't in a cave, you know.
Wow.
So then I don't want to drag it on too long, but right. So that happened. I got up. I walked out. It was 2 minutes past midnight. Not kidding you. It was Christmas Eve. Not kidding you. And that thing followed us. I'm sure it did. So I couldn't go back into the room. So we stayed in the sunroom and then we pitched a tent for the rest of the time we were there. I refused to go back in there. Now, the next day after that happened, my mother-in-law was standing opposite that room at her door. And she was just standing there talking to us with, you know how you lean up on a door, hands are in the door frame sort of thing. And she's talking, blah, 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 blah. And then she goes, I think me and Bluey got to go to the shops. And she pulled her hand away and the door slammed and it would have broke every one of her fingers. And that was the next day. So I'm telling everybody, do not muck around with this stuff. It follows you. And I reckon it took me years to get rid of that. It's gone now, but it took me years to get rid of that spirit. Absolutely. It tormented me so bad. So, yeah, that's my story about Ouija boards, and that's, you know, my husband will verify that. If he's listening in the audience, could you please chime in on that, my darling? Thank you. There you go, guys. Floor's yours.
Wow, yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you just quickly want to play that first video about Trump?
Okay, we're going to play it. Yeah, I'll do that, mate.
Because I don't think this has been. I don't think this has been covered. I don't think it's been covered by any truther or believer yet. I'm not sure.
No, I don't think so. I've been watching everybody for 3 years. I don't think so. We've got some footage that's 3 years. 1 year old.
From 1 year old. Yeah.
From 1 year ago.
This will blow you away, guys, and this is. Look, this was actually blamed on. It was actually blamed on the student who actually did that. You know, put this fake seal in, and they actually blamed it, on a student. But we all know with the Secret Service and all that, everything's got to be tested and everything's got to be run through and everything's got to be prepared and everything like that. So when you watch this video, it is it's just evidence straight in your face. Play it. Let's go. Have a look.
Let's check out what's trending now, shall we? Here comes the chief, folks, and one colossal blunder.
President Trump unknowingly standing in front of a bogus presidential seal while giving a speech yesterday. It featured a double-headed eagle, Russia's national symbol, holding clubs and a pile of cash. There were also some other subtle jabs at the president. The event was hosted by the conservative group Turning Point USA, which said its AB guy made a mistake. Oh. His fate was sealed. He was fired on the spot.
Can't make that mistake again, I guess. Imagine.
No, that was not. No, he did that because I've got other footage of it too that just shows the actual meeting where there was no, you know, it was just in the audience. Someone taped that. I do have that, but I haven't got it on at the moment. But Shane went away for a minute, did he? That's fine. So, well, let's tell the people the double-headed phoenix. Okay. Now, this means that they've taken over. We're not waiting for a new world order. It is here. And the double-headed phoenix, that was actually the seal from Russia and also from the Scottish Rite. Now, if nobody believes that President Trump is one of the highest Scottish Rite people there are, I don't know what to tell you, but that was a sign to the elites. And if anybody else didn't pick it up, it was just, it was a mistake.
Yeah, he just walked over and clapped in front of it.
He clapped in front of it. He knew what he was doing. It was this all goes back to the occult, just like Shane and I were talking about. It doesn't matter if it's a Ouija board, but these guys are doing ceremonies and sacrifices that we can't even imagine, and I don't want to. I can't take my head there because my head will blow up. So this, that presidential seal had golf clubs and cash. Now, do you want to explain that?
Yeah, I actually picked it up as I could be wrong, but this is just my opinion. If you have a look at the word golf club, so club, you're in a club. Golf club. Why do all these politicians? They all love golf. They all play golf. So if you have a look at it, golf club. So you're in the club. Could be like the Club of Rome or something like that. And then you've got a fistful of cash, which is the root of all evil.
Yeah.
Which is about
to crash. Which is about to crash, and I reckon that's a sign of that as well.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and him with the eagle grabbing the cash, that's saying mammon. This is who we serve. We serve money, and we all know what's on the dollar bill anyway. In America, so it's holding the cash, and then you've got the double-headed eagle, which is of course Russia's seal. Russia's seal for their country. So it's like saying you're in the club. You've got to, if you want to be in the club, you have to, you'll get all this money, and you've got to serve Satan. That's the sort of seal. That's how I look at it. I could be wrong.
No, it sounds like and they did it on purpose. The New World Order is here. We're not waiting for it. They're just ready to tell everybody it's here. So they've showed us so many signs. They've shown each other the signs. If you're into watching how the occult works and their hand symbols and the things they do, they send signs to each other, guys. This all goes back to Richie from Boston put a really, really good video on, guys, and he attached a link to the apprentice mason and what they have to do, and I read through it, and it'll blow your mind. They pick scriptures for them, but they're all really negative scriptures, and you can see how they would revert that to the dark side. It is so crazy. Just reading through the lines of these, how they trick everybody and how they do everything so subtle, but they're doing it, and they're doing it, and nobody's doing anything about it, and we can't, because it is prophetic. It will happen, and I believe, like I just wanted to say, like at the beginning of this stream, I didn't get to say this, guys, but I really want to say that this show, we're only voicing our opinions, and I really need to tell you that over time, our research has uncovered things that did let us see a little bit ahead into the future. And we predicted things, only not because we're prophets, but we have predicted things that did happen because we could see the way it was going, and we knew the way that these Luciferians work now. We've read between the lines a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, so just showing you guys stuff that we have uncovered, and, everybody should do their own research, because you guys will then be able to give us information. But getting back to, is war coming? Yes, I believe it is, and that's what I believe will be next. And I don't know if the dollar will crash before that, but we went to an airbase yesterday, Growler and I, and you've got a 40% increase in Air Force drills on the runway there. It was just incredible. The amount of jets we saw take off just in half an hour. And my dog was freaked out, so we had to go. But
basically, what it was, because I used to work for a big international air show as well. So what it is I know how many, because us spotters, we talk with each other. So, you know, around different Air Force bases in Australia and around the world. And let's say one air base, one of the biggest air bases in Australia, has 22 movements a day. I'm counting 62 movements every day for the last 3 weeks now. And
Wow.
and so there's basically been a 200 at some stages a 250% increase of Air Force as far as Air Force training. The same thing is happening at every military base in Australia. As I put in the description box, and if you guys want to really look at it, it'll be very, very beneficial, because it's the Osmin Talks. Our Osmin Talks is Australian Minister, Defence Minister goes over with their Defence Minister, and so basically what they're doing is they know what's happening in the South China Sea. I mean, it is a tinderbox at the moment. It really is a tinderbox at the moment, and that's why you know, all these movements have tripled. A lot of the aircraft were armed, and that normally never happens. So what I'm finding is there's another thing to this as well. There's another stage to this as well, because CV-19 has hit most democratic countries. So
Imagine that.
because that's exactly right, you know, and who would have guessed? So because they know they're going to bring in the Chinese credit score system, because that's all coming. It's going to, like they say, an Orwellian police state. And I think I did put another video about facial recognition already in American shops, in so many American shops all over the states. And it was actually made by a Chinese company. I think it might have been part of Huawei or Huawei or something like that. And yeah, it's like I think, Shane, you know, you don't ramp up military operations by 250% for the fun of it, and especially when everyone's or the coalition of the US, UK, Five Eyes, all that sort of thing.
Well,
they're all in. Yep.
So I was thinking the same exact thing. What's the chances? I was talking to Chuck Middleton about this. What's the chances that this COVID thing and the vaccination thing is real? But what's the chances that this is fear mongering, taking away from the attention of a possible war brewing? You think that that's possible? I do.
Yeah, anything's possible. Everything's on the table.
It's double layered. I just think it's double layered. And I do believe the first wave of COVID was a hoax, just a fear mongering. It was a test to see if they could get the people to lock themselves down like that.
Yeah, well, Pompeo said it was a live exercise, and Shane, you know what live exercises are, Shane, in the forces. It's just a live exercise. You're not going to war yet. It's a live exercise preparing.
But you wait until the second wave hits. You wait. It'll be something. They will release something. Yes. And what does the Bible say? 1,000 at your right, 10,000 at your left will drop dead. Psalms 91.
That's right. That could be COVID. Yeah,
could be the second wave of real. What will be released on us for real? It won't hurt us, because no weapon formed against us will prosper. So, look, go on. Sorry about that. I just wanted.
No. That's all right. And Shane, as I just said, you know, a live exercise. An exercise is an exercise. And we don't call war an exercise. You know, we have exercises between coalition partners, and they're called exercises. Now, war isn't called an exercise. War is war. Right. So when you've got to listen to every word they say, this is a live exercise. It's exactly what it is, because if they release the real one, I don't know, or people are saying there's asteroids coming in, or there's so much going on at the moment. You just don't know what to believe. So
asteroids. Let's talk about that. I really have the same opinion. I really do. I don't know what you believe in, Shane, as in where we live. I don't know. Do you believe? I'm always try to be tactical when I ask this question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I know it's hard. It's really hard. Oh, listen, I believe we live in a closed system. So
absolutely. And you know what? I just did a video real quick. I just did a video on this. If you look in the news media, it's asteroids everywhere.
Yes.
Werner von Braun. Werner von Braun's secretary. There's a video out there. I can't believe it hasn't been removed and taken down years ago, where she said that on his deathbed, her name was Carol something. But anyway, she was a close personal secretary of Werner von Braun, the Nazi scientist who created and established NASA. She said that he said to her, "Now remember, Carol," and over and over and over, she said that he would say this to her. He starts out by saying that the first thing that they're going to do is build these the space race for the weapons in space, right? And that's right. And that the Russians were the enemy. Well, when I was in the military, all the way, the Russians were the enemy, and actually they're not. They're not the enemy, but that's the propaganda that we were fed. Then correct. She said that he told her that that then they're going to move from that to terrorism. Okay. Then we had 9/11, and there was the war on terrorism. Then she said the next step would be third world crazies. Okay, that they're talking about. Well, Kim Jong-un. Okay, that happened where we were in fear of these third world countries from nuking us. Everything's playing out. And then he said, and remember, there's going to be an alien deception coming. That hasn't happened yet.
No,
but
that'll be after the war. That'll be to help us.
She said, and remember, Carol, the last card. Oh, I'm sorry. It'll be the asteroids inbound. Okay. Yep. The asteroids inbound would be next. And that's what we're waiting for now. It's all over the news. Supposedly we got something flying by the first week in August. And it's all over the place with these asteroids, right? Then she
said, it even on MSN?
It's all over. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't know that.
And then the last thing was, I've heard this.
He said, remember, Carol, remember this. The last card will be the alien, and the aliens are coming, right? And then he said to her, he said, remember, Carol, it's all a lie. Meaning everything that he said was going to happen, that they have in store for us, it's all a lie.
Yeah.
All of it was a lie.
Yep.
So what do I believe on the asteroids? This is what I personally believe. I believe the asteroids is Revelations 12, where fallen angels are kicked, because fallen angels are nothing more than light beings. They're powerful light beings. And if people think that the fallen angels are going to come to earth in peace and tranquility, you're wrong. When they get cast out of heaven, they're going to be wroth. And when they get cast to the earth, it's going to be something to behold. And I believe that is going to be your what would appear to be your asteroid striking the earth, when actually it's all these fallen angels being kicked out. The war in heaven is leading through the spiritual into our world, and that's and they know the devil and his angels are getting ready to be cast down. They know this.
They know it, because
they've been preparing us for this time. And when the Antichrist, the whole reason that they're rushing for this technology on face recognition and to be able to tell what you had for breakfast, where you're at all times. The whole reason for that is Satan gets cast down and he gets put into a body. So he has lost his power as the prince of the air, where he had all this power that he has right now. When he gets cast into a body, he's limited to the physical. And
oh my gosh, I was saying this morning to Growler.
Yeah, that's when he gets wroth.
Yeah, that's when he gets
angry because he knows then his time is short.
Yes.
And we're just waiting for that to happen. But I'll shut up. But that's what I believe the asteroid thing is.
Absolutely. You just nailed it.
And
that's really good.
There's some really lovely channels that I'm moderators on, quite a big channel in particular, who still believe in the globe, but I don't throw the baby out with the bathwater with people. I still love these people, even though they do believe in a lie, but they are trying to get the truth out. But they're saying that the asteroids are coming and they're like in fear of these asteroids. And one person in particular is running, has left his home and is running and moving, and even videoing on the road as they're going. So people are in fear, and we should not live in fear. These things, they will not. If it is meant to, we'll be gone in a second. Okay, or this is the only thing that I think is a little bit different to Shane, which is that. Or they are the fallen angels. Absolutely. That's all it is, that the fallen angels have come and they knew the time when they would come. Right. That's very interesting. I wonder how they know the time. But,
well,
they're connected with the dark side so much that, they do, I guess. But, the dragon's going to cast a third of the stars out of the sky. How's that going to happen if they're planets, guys? How does the third of the planets fall onto the earth and we're still here after that for a while?
Yeah,
how's that float your boat?
You know how they know the time? I've got scripture. I got scriptures that show that there's a time frame of 6,000 years. It's in Genesis and it's also in Ezra, where the Lord says He's going to bring an end to all things after 6 days, which is 6,000 years. Our calendar,
5779, aren't we?
Yeah, our calendars have been changed, and these elites, these devils, they are in communication with the devils and the fallen angels. They know when the 6,000 years is up. We can only guess. We're right there. We're right there within probably a year or 2 months, who knows? But they know exactly because our calendars have been changed so much.
Right.
Well, they say 2027 because, of course, the Father works with the perfect number 7, so he works in sevens. And if you have a look, I mean, people have had 6,000 years to make up their minds. If you have a look at it, really, over the course of biblical history, the only history. And the only cosmology that should be studied, and it's everything the Father does is perfect, and I don't know, it just makes sense. Once this 6,000 years is up, that's when he comes down and reigns for 1,000 years to complete for complete perfection. That's correct. It's either 6 + 1. Or it's 4 + 3 that he works with, I think. Having a look at what Pastor Gene Kim from San Jose Bible, they're independent Baptists, very independent. So they're not part of 501c3 or the World Council of Churches. So, it's the Father just works with perfect numbers. That's the way I see it, and it's sort of like been revealed to me, and I think it's been revealed to a lot of people that he will, once the 6,000 years is up, that's enough time, people. I've had enough, and I'm coming back. Conquer my enemies. Reign 7 is perfect.
But this is a brilliant deception to say it's asteroid.
Oh, it's awesome.
Because it goes along with their globe theory. So we're going with the globe right till the very end. Right till the end, they're going to drag this out.
Yep.
And if you don't know by now where we live, I think the door's shutting, like the ark door is closing, that we need to be on the ark now. And because when this all does happen, we're going to have to be so strong to tell our family members who don't know that no, they're not aliens, they're demons. You know, that guy is not a good guy. He is the devil incarnate. We have to be really, really strong right now. We have to be gaining our spiritual strength for this, our spiritual food. So these asteroids, I am very, very sad that so many of the good channels are still promoting, you know, the globe and saying that they're asteroids. But there are a lot of us that are saying, no, it's not asteroids. They're not asteroids. They are fallen angels, or they're ICBMs and bombs. The war is coming.
Yeah, exactly. And Shane, you know, the first, you know, we all know it's all about resources, your oils, your natural gas, you know, all your poppy fields in Afghanistan. You know, it's all there to make money. But when your financial system does crash, when the financial system does crash, that causes war.
Right.
That's right.
That's just the way it is. And I think you said it earlier, sis. Within all the democratic countries, even with the US, I don't know the correct percentage, but there's between, I would say, it's been here in 40% increase in Australian Defence Force recruiting. Now, in every democratic society, because there's so many businesses and so many job losses and businesses collapsing, everyone goes into the military. So that's another thing to look at. It's imagine another 40 to 50% military personnel in every Air Force, Navy, Army around the world. Think about that.
Yeah.
You know, so that I think is the this is the catalyst for Armageddon, because 200 million, whatever it was, I forgot the number.
200 million mounted troops.
Yeah, 200 million mounted troops. So we've got China coming into Iran now because they, it's about 3 months ago, they bought about $800 billion worth of natural gas off them.
Yep.
So China is big because Iran is still under, they're still under a law where they're not allowed to buy any military equipment until next year. So I think that all these people that are joining the Defence Force, because there's going to be war, that's why there's so many people joining the Defence Force now. So this is where this is where your 200 million are going to come from. That's what I think, and that is my opinion. But being in the military and having a look at the Defence Force's recruiting, the 40% increase, I mean, numbers don't lie.
And see, the thing is, these people that go into the Defence Force now, they're all going to be marked. They will be marked.
Exactly.
Because they will need to be, they will need to be, you know, what do you call it? Under the thumb. They'll need to be under surveillance. Yeah. And that's the way they'll do it. They'll be the first to go. The military and the unemployed, and they won't even need to have a vaccination as such. They'll just give them whatever they want to give them. So the military will be brainwashed and will do and will come and fight against Christ. They think they're going to win. I can't. It's just phenomenal that they could think they could win. And we know what army we're going to be in, and that's why we're here.
Hey, Beck,
that's why we're here. Yeah, Beck.
Can you touch on the mark and give me your opinion on what you think the mark is, as regards with the vaccinations and an actual physical mark? What do you think needs to be avoided in these days?
Okay, well, the vaccination, avoid the test, because they could put something on those swabs. Avoid the test. Avoid the vaccination. Avoid anything that they're going to offer you to make your life easier, just to put in your hand and you can open your car, you can open whatever. Avoid any of that. But the mark of the beast is also something that's in your heart. It is allegiance, giving your allegiance to him which basically, if you're not giving your allegiance to Yeshua, to your creator as well, like, you know, to them both, if you're not giving allegiance to them, that is a mark of the beast as well in itself. But I think the physical one that's coming, I knew about this 30 years ago through a man called Barry Smith. Excellent.
Oh, I love that guy. Yes.
Oh yeah, he was New Zealander. I met him. I actually met him.
Did
and
you?
I got to go up and hug him and give him a kiss and say, "You are the one who led me to Yeshua." It was through his books and his videos.
All his videos, Beck. All his videos. Anyway.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, he died in Australia, and he died not far from where we were. It was very sad. He would have loved to see this. He would have been going off, wouldn't he? You know, everything he said is coming to pass now. So the mark, Shane, just to answer your question, I think this physical one, without having spiritual one, you know, giving your allegiance, the physical one is probably this quantum dot tattoo, and the nanotechnology they're going to put in it is going to change your DNA. Now that is in writing. That is in their own website on the medical journals. You can look it up. You could go to Richie's actual channel, and he's got the links for that. Now they're going to put. This is what Growler and I truly believe. Nephilim DNA will be attached to that invisible micro dot.
Lord have mercy.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah,
This is why you cannot be redeemed. You are unredeemable. If
Correct.
you get that, you are unredeemable, because this word about the mark has been going through the world that I know for 30 years really good. Because that's when we started getting RFID chips and people really started talking about it. So people that didn't even read the Bible or didn't care about anything, they even know about this because it's been talked about for 30 years, right? Now, the thing is, we have to refuse anything they're going to give us that stops us from buying, selling, or trading. What they're going to do with the vaccination is they're going to say, if your children aren't vaccinated, they can't go to school. If you're not vaccinated, you can't go to work. What does that mean? You can't go to work. You can't buy, sell, nor trade.
Right.
That's right.
So that's what we've got to
look
for. There it is. There's your answer to whatever the mark of the beast is.
I was afraid you were going to go there, and I'm on board with you. I'm on board with you 110%. I think that it's a physical and a spiritual, just like you said. Yep. And if you succumb to the physical with this dot tagging that's going to go on with the changing of the DNA, that's part of it. But the spiritual, like you said, would be some form of allegiance
to Satan,
to the Antichrist, through some kind of oath.
Yeah.
And spiritually, that's going to damn you also. So let's say that people rolled up in a black van and they snatched you out of your home and they took you away and taped you to a table and then shoved that needle in your arm.
No,
you're not necessarily marked and damned forever because of that. Correct.
You've been forced. I don't think they actually can force it in a way. Like there must be, I think there's an unwritten spiritual law, which there are a lot, that Lucifer there's lines he can't cross. And it says that it does say, see, we looked at this the other day, Growler and I, we went through, I've got about 10 Bibles and I think we went through about 5 of them. And it said in one it said he will force everyone, and in the other, which is the one that we knew our whole life, it says he causes. Now, if you think about, you think about those two interpretations. That one word, it changes it a lot. If he causes us to do it, that means we can't buy or sell without it. We can't go to work. That one makes a lot more sense, because if he forces it on us and we don't want it, that doesn't work. It doesn't work for them. It doesn't work for us. And I'll tell you, Shane, I'll share something with you that's pretty freaky. I was at the dentist yesterday and, he's in there in my mouth and I got my eyes shut and I'm just trying to make the pain work for me, you know, instead of it being really bad. And because he was really poking in my gums. And I imagined, Shane, that I was laying there with a guillotine about to go.
Oh,
And I went there. I went there, you know, in that place, because I think we need to do that. And I thought, yep, I will. I am not afraid. I will be afraid, but I will just be praying. And I know he'd probably take your spirit 5 milliseconds before that thing hits your neck. But I really, really went to that place of losing my head for this. So the thing is, we have to prepare spiritually in the way that we might lose our lives for this. And I've always said that, like, I want the rapture to be there too. I want it to be now. But
I would all love a rapture. Everyone would.
But we need to be real as well. And I think the Father is really looking for soldiers who have already prepared their heart for death.
Yes.
I think they're the ones that he will choose.
Yes, that's
Can I throw something in?
Yeah, Shane.
A little nugget right in there. I'm going to insert this because this is so controversial and it upsets people when you mention the word rapture. So and I don't know why that is. Okay. And
yeah.
I've never said that the church is trying to escape trouble, because that's not the case. But this is what I personally believe. And I believe it because this is what I'm hearing through the scriptures, okay, about pray always to escape the things that are coming and stand before the Son of Man. Verses like that.
Yes.
I
Correct.
believe that this scenario, let's call it a scenario, is possible, and that this corruption that they want to do to mankind through vaccines, okay, I believe that coincides with Revelations 12, where the dragon is cast down to earth to devour the child. Okay. What that means to me is it doesn't necessarily mean that he's being cast down to kill the church physically. He wants to murder the church spiritually. And the only way that he can do that is by corrupting our DNA, which makes us unredeemable, like you said. So when he's cast down, he's going to try to devour the child. And I believe that is in the vaccines. And that once they roll that out, sometime between the time that they roll it out and they make it mandatory that everyone has to have it, that's Satan devouring the child. And I personally believe that is the best time, if any, to be ripped out of here by violent force, which is called the rapture.
Well,
so I'm just saying, as a scenario, I believe that is possible.
Well, if these fake asteroids are coming and they are, they're the fallen angels coming down, it's on. If this happens, it's on now.
Yeah,
it's on.
Yeah. Look, we all know we go at the last Trump. We all know we go at the.
Well, Shane, I heard Shane talking about this. I think you were with Chuck Middleton. I was watching your live stream. And you were saying something about the last Trump scripture, Shane.
Yeah, real quick. I was saying that if you read those verses, okay, in the tribulation, those judgment trumps are clearly blown by angels. Yes. Clearly, they're blown by angels, and they're judgment trumps. But if you go to First Thessalonians,
or 1 Corinthians 15:52.
15:52. It says the Lord Himself shall descend with a shout. Right?
Yes.
It says the Lord Himself descends with a shout. There's no mention of angels here. There's no angels blowing a trumpet. It's the Lord Himself that's blowing the trumpet. So I believe that those are clearly two separate events. One is the Revelations 4:1, where the door is open in heaven, the rapture, the harpazo. And then the one you're talking about are the 7 trumpet judgment trumps. Those are all blown by angels, and that is during the tribulation. That's my personal belief on that.
Yep.
But you were saying there were 21?
There's 21 total judgments with the bowls, the seals, the trumpets.
Oh, right.
There
Yep,
you
yep,
go.
Yeah.
Right? The number 7. It's 777, just like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and look, I was pre-trib as well. But in one way, I just don't know what to believe. I don't.
We're just looking for it every day.
Yeah.
Shane, you know this saying very, very well. If you want peace, prepare for war.
Right.
Okay, so the thing is, I approach it this way. Because it does say, I think it's in Luke 21:36. Be counted worthy to escape all these things that are coming upon the earth.
Yes.
And I think, I mean, so what does that mean? It means that basically you have to be saved. Which counts as righteousness and being worthy to escape the judgments.
Right.
So, and we are not appointed to the Father's wrath, but I think we might be. I think we'll be maybe zoomed out of here at some time. I don't know. I'd rather start putting all my energies into making sure there's enough food and making sure you're spiritually right and making sure that you just preparing yourself, because as we've seen, this CV-19 has actually just hit us from left field, as Beck and myself.
I think whatever's going to hit, it'll be fast.
What I can appreciate with you is you're not absolutely slamming the door on those who believe that the Lord might take us out of here. When the asteroids come, when the fallen angels come down, we go up. Those that believe that, you're not slamming the door saying that is hypocrisy. That ain't going to happen.
No, that's right. That's right. That's exactly it.
You don't know. And you know what? To be honest with you, I believe in pre-trib rapture, but when they get down to it, I don't know either. So I'm not going to slam the door on what you're saying either. We just kind of work together. Pray always, and yeah, man, we need to team up. As Christians,
we're getting strength here. This is church. People have to understand every time you enter a live stream that the people are believers, and we're talking about what's happening. You're in church, guys, but you're in a real church. Here's our Australian kookaburras. Can you hear that?
What is that?
Hear that? Our Australian kookaburras were laughing. They're a bird that laughs.
Wow. Yeah, they laugh at Satan.
Yeah, they laugh at him. They laugh at him a lot here. The thing is, we have to avoid anything that makes us that we can't buy, sell, nor trade with it. That's as simple. That's where we are with the mark. Where we are with the rapture. We are so open. We just are looking for it every day, and we don't care if you're pre-trib, mid-trib, whatever trib. We love everybody, and we just want to get strong. We need these church meetings. We need to get strong.
So let's hope for the best. Let's hope for the best and prepare for the worst, right?
Exactly.
Correct. I couldn't put it better myself.
There you go.
But I truly believe if you're believing for the best, that is what will happen, because your faith is what makes you righteous. Remember?
Yep.
What makes you righteous? Not your works. Your works are filthy rags.
Right.
Yep.
Your faith is what makes you righteous unto him. And just believing in him and shutting your eyes and talking to him, that's where it's at. That's really where we're at now. And you could be killed at any time anyway. This is what I always say. You could die today. So you've got to die prepared, Right. I know one thing for sure, Shane. They won't be coming and taking Growler and I without. But they won't, because that's just how it is here, and we don't fear it. We know.
No, not at all.
And here's another thing, you guys. The first 7 judgments, there's 21. After the first 7, 1/3 of the entire world, the population, dies. It perishes. So the thing is rapture or no rapture, the chances of people surviving, especially if you live in the United States, the chances
Yeah.
of survival on just the first few judgments are
Yep.
slim. So
Yeah, that's right.
we can do one way or another. We're leaving this place.
Exactly.
I think maybe as well. I don't know. It's just I just had I don't know. It just might have been a thought or a drop that's just been dropped into me.
Come on.
Yeah, maybe all the so-called asteroids and all that sort of thing. Maybe that takes out the Christians, if you know what I mean. So we're out of where it's like a rapture, but he sort of like said,
all of us with bombs.
well, who knows? You know, look, anything's bloody possible.
That's a good theory, mate. That takes the cake. I don't like it.
I think you just nailed it. I think you just nailed it because Isaiah 57:2 says, "The righteous perisheth, and no man lays it to heart, and merciful men are taken away, none considering that the righteous was taken away from the evil to come." So however the Lord sees fit, with the first few judgments, you're right.
Yep.
The majority of Christians could easily be taken out of here, and that would be God's mercy too, getting us out.
Correct.
So
Correct.
We're on board, buddy, with that. And that
I just had that dropped into me. I just had that dropped into me, and I thought, you know, look, if something is coming, it's going to be pretty quick, pretty quick. That's for sure. So,
whatever's coming, it's all spiritual. This is a spiritual battle. We fight. We wrestle. Ephesians 6 says it all. You know,
and it's the sudden destruction. You're talking about the sudden destruction that Paul talks about.
Yeah, and I think the sudden destruction as well is the economy, because I think the first horse, I think the 4 horsemen, they're of the apocalypse, they're already riding, because if you have a look at the first horse, it's got scales, so if you have a look at the scales, that represents the economy. And what's the lifeblood of people surviving around the world? The economy, money. So once that gets smashed, I mean, it's just total annihilation from there. Businesses close, people go homeless, people go hungry. I mean, that's sudden destruction, I reckon.
And think about this: when the Lord allows the Antichrist, releases the Antichrist on a God-rejecting world, what does it say? He says he was given a crown.
That's right.
Corona
means crown, and they've used this coronavirus to bring down the nations.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And that's sudden destruction.
Yeah.
To put in the social credit score system, the new order. You've got to break down. See, they've done this. They have thought this out extremely awesomely, because in the military or in the intel section, they've got a saying where the best strategist can make an invasion seem like an accident. So you see how they've actually pulled this. So they've hit the economy, they've hit your freedom, they've hit travel, they've hit tourism, they've hit every damn sector, and they're just pulling the sticks closely now, making sure people submit with a satanic ritual by putting on the mask. That is a satanic ritual. That I will not even wear a mask. I don't care. I'll die for not even wearing a mask. And I will not participate in that at all. But I just that's just my opinion. So I thought
I think you're right on, and they're not even using the language anymore. If you notice, of face masks are required, they're using the language face coverings. They just want your face covered. You can put a diaper on your face. They don't care as long as they can't see you. As long as they can't see you smiling. And you're right. It's a ritual. It's exactly.
It exactly. And listen, I want to just bring this up because Pom Diggs just left a comment. We've been talking about this, Growler. The Queen's gone. Buckingham Palace is empty. The Pope stepped down from his role
Vicar
as
of Christ.
Vicar of Christ. He's given that title away, so now he comes in his own name.
Is that true?
And then, yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
happened
yeah.
months ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like all these people are stepping down. It's a power shift.
Yeah, it's and Buckingham Palace, they broke the big seal onto the pavement, right where the mainstream media could just, very easy for them to film it. It was all set up. And then, this is what I want to bring up. Buckingham Palace has King's Guards doing drills of marching in it every day. They're guarding the palace.
Wow.
So the Queen's Guards, all gone. The Queen's horses, all gone.
Are you serious?
Gone. Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Wow, I didn't know this.
Okay. There's quite a few channels. There's Emerald Dreamer. He's a good one. I can't think of the other guy. Anyway, so I wanted to bring up Joseph Gregory Hallett. Have you heard about this, Shane?
No.
Oh, you're kidding. Okay,
No.
so everyone stepped down, and all of a sudden, this guy did come out a couple of years ago. So it's not like it's just right now.
Right.
This guy has come out saying he is the rightful king of England. And I tell you what, he's got a lot of paperwork to prove it. And everyone stepped down, and he's so charismatic. He's a lovely man. He seems like a lovely man. Oh, he's charismatic. For an old guy, I mean, he's good looking. And he's got some sort of charisma about him. I don't know what it is.
He's a very good talker.
Oh, and he's so laid back. Like, if I run the country, it's going to be so different. He was saying there'll be none of that and none of that. And the English people are going to love this guy. They're going to love him. Now, the thing is, they've got the King's Guards in Buckingham Palace. The Queen's vanished. She's in hiding.
Wow.
They took one photo of her that looked fake, and it was from the back of her riding a black horse. They were all riding jet black horses, and that was the only photo we've seen of her since she left the palace, right?
Wow.
This Joseph Gregory Hallett, I'm not sure what's going on.
Well, you guys just said that they're consolidating and they're shifting the power. My question is, who are they shifting the power to? Can I say maybe the Antichrist is getting ready to step up?
Yeah.
Wow.
You're right. Whoever it is, they're ready to go. They're there.
Ready to go.
It's going to be either the end of this year or 2021 because they love the numbers 2021 too. So don't forget that.
Wow. That's incredible.
This all runs by their numbers. It all runs by their moons. It all runs by their calendar. And if these so-called asteroids are coming in and they know that the fallen are coming, oh, guys, we're there.
Yeah, but you see, I think before the Antichrist, of course, war has to happen because the Antichrist brings a false peace.
Right.
So once the false, be a quick war. It only has to be a quick war.
Yeah, it'll be a very quick. I think it'll probably last about 2 or 3 months. You're going to have a limited nuclear exchange or whatever it is.
Wouldn't be that long.
And then the AC is going to come in. He's going to break it all up and create a false peace. And then he's going. If you have a look at the scripture, Daniel 9:27, when he confirms the covenant with many, and he keeps confirming the covenant all the time. Now the covenant has already been done by Kushner and Trump. Netanyahu has already annexed parts of Israel, which is just a total abomination.
Yeah, the West Bank.
Yeah, well, exactly right. You don't break up or sector out the father's land. I mean, that's just. No wonder all this stuff has happened so far, in one way. But yeah,
well, he said he'd punish them, didn't he? If they did that. So this is it. We're on the verge of it all happening. That he is going to bring his wrath down.
Yeah, this all makes sense, doesn't it, you guys? And we're right on the verge, man. This is all converging.
We don't have long to do these live streams, guys. We need to pump these out, all of us. So, Shane, if you're doing one, and we'll jump on yours sometime or whatever. But, guys, we need to get this word out. I had a prayer just privately before I did this live stream, and I felt like I went to his secret place. I really did. I had this spiritual really thing that I was sitting in the darkness all alone, and he was there. He was there.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. So
He is there.
yeah, oh no, I know that. But I mean, it was just the way it was. I wasn't in my body. I could feel it in the spiritual realm, and it was just amazing. We just need to band together, guys, and get this information out.
Just quickly to Pomdigs, a Masonic, yes, a Masonic ritual for sacrifice. I'm not sure if you meant the face masks, and then you said was performed like the Pillars of Boaz, King Solomon, the two ships on the east and west coast, Comfort and Mercy. Are the Comfort and Mercy still on the east and west coasts?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
The Comfort and Mercy? I'm sorry.
Yes, that's right. Are the Comfort and Mercy still one on the east coast, one on the west coast?
I'm not sure.
Right. Okay then, because I was just because this is what Pomdig said. Maybe he can just explain that a little bit more. And I have heard, while I do not forget as well, if anyone's in California or anything like that, I have heard rumours. I'll just call them rumours that there's a crap load of UN vehicles on the coast of California.
That is
true. That's true. That is true, is it?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Roughly how many? I was told about 300.
Oh, at least.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could
more like 3,000.
I could send you guys some footage that people have done with some drone footage showing this.
Oh, please.
Yeah. So the UN's here, and then you have these debunkers come out and say, well, the United States manufactures UN vehicles. I ain't buying it.
No, that's right.
Hey, that's a good one, right? That's a good one.
Yeah. Well, what about all the sandbox military vehicles they were moving around that everybody in the truth community was posting videos of on trains? There were tanks, there were, everything on those trains. And this was months and months, even years ago, like from 2 or 3 years ago that started. Then the box cars, people getting photos and videos of the box cars.
It's all true.
Yeah. Now this is so they've got everything prepared.
How about the barges? The FEMA barges.
Yeah, they just they threw
a bunch of prison cells.
Yeah, and just quickly, Ann Walsworth has said, have they left? Anne, did you mean that the UN vehicles have left California? So that's Anne has said, yeah, they left. I'm not sure. Does anyone know where they are going?
I might have to watch Marv Fugel for that. He's always onto that sort of thing. Marv's good for that.
Right. Okay, then that'd be good.
Yeah, we might just grab some information off him. But listen, can I just break it up and just play a video for a sec?
Yeah,
I want to
good.
just for everybody that didn't see this, because we got a lot of different people in here that weren't in here before. So we're going to play that I think it was the first video we played, 2020 thus far.
Mm.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my God!
Unbelievable.
In these trying times, Pepsi is here for you.
What the fuck?
Like you shouldn't be laughing, but that's spot on, isn't it?
Kind of in your face, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep. And oh mate, I'll give that guy accolades for making that, because it says it all. And I want to say thank you, Shane. I'm going to wrap this live stream up. if everybody doesn't mind. Is that all good?
Yep.
But I was going to say, Shane, would you like to lead us out in prayer?
Sure.
Good. Okay.
Lord Jesus, we come before you and give thanks to you for your love, your mercy, and your kindness towards us.
Mhm.
We ask, Father, that more and more people will become awake like you woke us up, Lord,
Yes.
and they'll cry out to you and be saved. And we pray for strength, courage, and faith in these days, because we're going to need it as your children. We pray that you would use us, Lord, for your glory. And we ask these things in your precious name. Amen.
Oh, yes, man. Thank you. Thanks, Shane.
You bet.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. We really enjoyed it, and we hope we can have you again. I'd love to get in touch with Chuck too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe you guys, if you're having one, I might pop in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. See, you guys are on totally different time to us. It's
2 hours.
we're
2 hours.
12 o'clock. It's only 12 o'clock in the afternoon here.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's 7 o'clock here. So
yeah, that's what I mean. So
what's a good time for you?
By the way, Shane, Australia's.
I caught your live stream last time with Chuck. So whatever time you did that, that was a good time.
Yeah, it's about this time, you know.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
it.
Yeah, I'll give you a heads up. I got your email. I'll give you a heads up.
Excellent. No worries. That'll be great.
That would be great.
It would be. So I really enjoyed having you on, mate. We're just so on board, and all of us need to stick together. I love all you, my subs, and some of you I really feel like I know. You've been with me a long time. I appreciate you. I pray for you. Stick with us. We're going to have another live stream probably in about 2-3 days, and we'll have another guest on then. We've got Locked and Loaded coming on, Locked and Loaded 100%. Justin's going to come on next time. And do you know him, Shane? Do you know Justin?
Justin, what's his YouTube channel name?
Locked and Loaded 100%.
No, I'm gonna check that out though.
Go and look at him. Yep.
Yeah, we need to. We're all like-minded, and you know why that is? It's because we all have the same spirit. That's the bottom line.
That's
Exactly. And that has to be
wonderful. Yeah.
It's supernatural that we've all been given the same information. We all live thousands of miles from each other.
Yep.
There's no way this could have been like this if it wasn't the Father. There's just no way. It doesn't happen.
He's bringing us together. That's right. He's bringing us together. And like I said, because we've got the same spirit, which is his spirit.
Hey, how did you get onto Vincent Rhodes' channel? I'm a moderator on his channel. I want him on sometime.
What did I do? I left a comment on one of his videos. I'm like, hey Vincent, I said, a couple months ago you were talking about the rapture, and look, I said I've got some pretty good nuggets that I found. Me and Chuck Middleton. I'd like to just kind of go over them with you, man. And a couple of them to me are the smoking gun that this event is going to happen.
Yeah.
And he actually messaged me back. He's like, yeah, great. He goes, here's my email. So I emailed him, and didn't hear from him for about a week or so. And then I sent him my personal phone number that night that we did the stream.
Yeah.
And within a couple hours, he called me up and he was like, hey, you ready to do this? And that's when I was like, scrambling. I'm like, right now? He's like, right now. He goes, I'm live.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's all it was. I just left a comment, and then he sent me his email.
Well, I should be able to get him on because I'm one of his moderators. So he knows.
Oh, yeah. Get him on. He's wonderful. Man.
Yeah, I will. So keep a lookout for that. I'll let everybody know if that's happening anyway. So, I'm pretty sure it will be Justin at Locked and Loaded 100% YouTube channel next time. And thanks, Growler. Thank you as always. Your information is always precious.
Yeah,
thank you. Yeah, thank you very much, and it was a pleasure to talk to you, Shane.
Would you like to say goodbye to everybody in the chat? Thanks, Growler. You're good at
that. Yeah. First of all, I'd like to say thank you so much from Beck's heart, my heart, Messy Gentleman's heart. Like I said, the Messy Gentleman, Jake, he just makes all this happen. And if everyone can say a prayer for Jake and thank him for what he's done, because he does an awesome job. And I'd just like to, all our subs. Of course, Brian, Anne, I love you, darling. You're awesome. Shirley, love you, sister. You're awesome. Zoe, our precious sister, we've loved you. We love you so much. And Joanne Herring as well. Thank you so much, darling. And Flying Free as well. Good to see you come on. Kathleen Miller, thank you for coming on as well. And I'd like to say thanks to Keys for Truth, because he comes on all the time as well. And thank you so much. And SS, thank you so much. Pom Diggs, thank you so much. I would like to thank everybody else that I have not mentioned. I'm going through it.
The Bubba News.
Yeah, Daniel G. Daniel G, thank you very much. And of course, I mentioned you, Shirley. Shirley, I hope you're going well, darling. We love you very much. And Gary H, thanks, Gary. We appreciate everyone. It doesn't matter what your opinion is, but we're here to actually reach people and get more people saved. That's the most important thing, and actually sounding the alarm for people. So there's no time anymore. I want to say thanks to Nayota. You might be from Japan, I'm not sure. And of course, Bubba News, thank you so much. And Lynn Mason. Lynn Mason. I haven't seen Lynn Mason on here, but thank you so much, and we love you all very much. Thank you again, Shane. And when it's time to go, it's time to go, and it's just an action. You know how we were trained, where if the crap hits the fan, it's just an action. You just go into. I would say the father's military mode.
Yes,
absolutely. Yes. It was great meeting you. I love your attitude and your personality. Thanks, man. And we got one thing in common: the Navy, right?
I was in our Air Force is based on the United States Navy, because we're running the classics and the supers and the growlers.
Yeah, right on.
So we actually Australia actually integrates 60% more with the United States Navy compared to other air forces, because our system is based on the United States Navy system. So So we are brothers, and we are connected, and we're always allies.
That's right. And now we're in the army of Jesus. So
absolutely, we have the best commander in chief, mate.
That's right. Keep looking up, you guys. Keep looking up.
Now, listen, we're going to go out with a video, so don't go. Just watch this last little video we have for you guys. This is to give you some happiness and some joy in your day, and just to say thank you and we love you. Okay, until next time, watch the video. Don't forget, don't click off yet. This is Beck. I'm out.
God bless.
You too.
Out.
Shining in the sky. There ain't no cloud in sight. It's something gonna come. It's